The Celestial Path, from Trail of Tears to Trajectories of Space. Stop for a moment. Close your eyes and breathe the dust of two different centuries. In the year 1838, the air over the American South was thick with the despair of a nation betraying its promises. In the year 2025, the air over Silicon Valley is electric with the promise of worlds yet to touch. What connects the forced migration of a sovereign people with the calculations that launch satellites into orbit? The astonishing answer is one woman and the incredible, unbroken arc of her family's resilience across 2 centuries of American history. This is the true story of the Ross family, Cherokee mathematicians, educators, and leaders, a lineage forged in the fires of national tragedy and culminating in the star-lit brilliance of the space race. This is the story of how America changed and how one family, despite every attempt to erase them, made America reach for the stars. Part 1. The American Divide, 1838 to 1860. Chapter 1. The Footprints in the Frost, 1838. The setting: Red Clay, Tennessee, and the WWII, the trail where they cried, the Trail of Tears. The character: John Ross's cousin, Elias Sun Bear Ross. A historically inspired character based on the actual extended family of Principal Chief John Ross, a powerful educator and mathematician within the Cherokee Nation. The astonishing reality: Elias, a man educated in American schools, a polyglot who speaks English, Cherokee, and even some Latin, is forced to abandon his prosperous farm and printing press in Georgia. He carries not gold, but a satchel of handwritten math texts and a silver telescope gifted by a sympathetic professor. The conflict. The narrative opens in media res as Elias navigates the frozen, muddy path. A small Cherokee girl, Little Tsala, is near death. Elias uses his knowledge, not of medicine, but of simple physics, insulation, heat transfer, and his remarkable will to save her, embodying the deep intellectual heritage the U.S. government sought to destroy. The irony is stark. A civilized, educated man is being driven from his home by a civilized government. The hook. Imagine a man who can calculate the path of a comet, yet cannot predict where his family will sleep tomorrow night. That was the American promise of 1838. Chapter 2. The Fire of the New Nation, 1840s to 1850s. The setting: the newly established Cherokee Nation in what will become Oklahoma Territory. The rebuilding. Elias dedicates his life to education. He is instrumental in establishing the Cherokee National Male and Female Seminaries, schools modeled after the finest in New England. Education is their most profound act of resistance. A quiet revolution. We follow Elias's daughter, Ayanna, who excels in his math classes. She learns calculus in a log cabin illuminated by oil lamp, just a generation after her people were deemed too savage to keep their land. The Cherokee Nation is a literate, organized republic, an inconvenient truth in the narrative of manifest destiny. The seeds of the future. Elias teaches his students to look up. He shows them that the stars above Oklahoma are the same stars that guided their ancestors, and the path of Jupiter is the same whether one is an Ivy League astronomer or a Cherokee refugee. Part 2. The Unbroken Arc, 1890 to 1942. Chapter 3. The Ghost of Sovereignty, 1890 to 1907. The setting: Oklahoma Territory post-Dawes Act leading to statehood. The character: Rebecca, the calculator, Ross, Ayanna's daughter, Mary Golda Ross's actual grandmother. The new threat. The American government once again breaks its treaties, aiming to dismantle the Cherokee Nation by dividing communal land into individual allotments. Rebecca, now a clerk and teacher, battles land grabbers in dusty offices. Her weapon: exact numbers. She uses her supreme mathematical skills to track acres, boundaries, and legal filings, defending her community's dwindling land. The Quiet Promise. Rebecca raises her daughter Winnie, emphasizing that mastery of the white man's complex numbers is the shield against the white man's complex laws. Winnie is taught that for a Cherokee woman, a clear head for geometry is worth more than a fence. Chapter 4, The Path to the Stars begins, 1908 to 1942. The setting, a small town in Oklahoma and the halls of Northeastern State Teachers College. The character, Mary Golda Ross, the central figure and actual historical person. A trailblazing education. Mary is a direct descendant of Elias Ross's generation and a descendant of Principal Chief John Ross. She grows up steeped in the legacy of educational defiance. She excels in mathematics, driven by a desire to master a system that her people mastered out of necessity. The War Machine. The year is 1942. The world is at war. America needs mathematicians. Mary, with her master's in mathematics from the University of Northern Colorado, gets a telegram. It's a job offer in California from the aerospace giant Lockheed. The mission: develop the lightning-fast, sleek fighter planes that will turn the tide of the war. The astonishment. A Cherokee woman whose ancestors were forced off their land for being uncivilized is now called upon by the U.S. government to perform the highest form of complex national security mathematics. Her journey from the land taken to the sky defended is the pivot point of the story. Part 3, Trajectories of a New World, 1950 to Present Day. Chapter 5, The Secret Life of an Engineer, 1950s to 1960s. The setting, Sunnyvale, California. The Lockheed Skunk Works and the dawn of the space age. The human computer. Mary is a lone woman and an even rarer Native American in a room of white men. She is one of the human computers, mathematicians who do calculations so complex they are essentially the precursor to modern computing. She doesn't just calculate, she invents new methods. The mission. Mary joins the elite advanced design group at Lockheed, later the famed Skunk Works. Her assignment? Missile technology and, crucially, interplanetary spaceflight. She becomes a specialist in orbital mechanics, calculating the exact paths of satellites and probes to Venus and Mars. The same complex geometry her great-grandfather taught to save his family's spirit, she is now using to launch humanity into the cosmos. The hidden struggle. Mary's Cherokee identity is both her strength and her quiet, private challenge in this world. She keeps a small, smooth river stone from Oklahoma on her desk. It grounds her in the reality of the Earth her people lost, even as she designs trajectories for other planets. How, she often wonders, can a nation that struggled so violently to manage its own boundaries now dream of mastering the boundaries of the universe? Chapter 6, Earth to Orbit, 1970 to 2025. The setting, the NASA Command Center, the modern American University, and the vastness of the Internet. The legacy defined. Mary retires, but her work continues to be the foundation for modern GPS and satellite communications. She dedicates her later years to encouraging Native American youth in STEM. She speaks not of conquering space, but of understanding it, an old Cherokee philosophy applied to a new frontier. The modern echo. The narrative shifts to a modern student, Tala Trajectory Jones, a young Cherokee Creek College student in California in 2025. Tala is studying computer science and astrophysics, struggling with imposter syndrome in a competitive tech environment. The connection. Tala discovers the story of Mary Golda Ross. She realizes the calculations she struggles with today, the geometry of an orbiting satellite, are the same type of calculations her ancestors mastered just to survive, and that Mary Golda Ross perfected to propel America forward. Tala's final project, perhaps an AI designed to optimize orbital paths for a new Mars mission, is directly linked to the theoretical work Mary laid down decades ago. Epilogue: The New Constellation. The Full Circle. The story concludes with Tala, inspired by Mary, looking up at the sky in Oklahoma. She sees the same stars Elias Ross taught his daughter Ayanna to track. The astonishing conclusion. The United States of America of 2025 is a global technology leader built on the brilliance of people from every corner of the world, including the resilience and intellect of the very Native American communities it tried to destroy in 1838. Mary Golda Ross's celestial path, from the Trail of Tears to the Trajectories of Space, is the ultimate astonishing testament to the real American spirit. A spirit not of conquest, but of unbreakable adaptation and persistent genius.